right, welcome back. Jason Whitlock joined by Jim Jackson and Rick Bucher. Let's move to Kawhi Leonard, who remains the one big piece of free agency puzzle that has yet to fall into place. Reportedly, Kawhi will meet with the Lakers today, and the team is increasingly confident about their ability to team Kawhi with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, who is undoubtedly hoping his second year with the Lakers is more successful than his first. All right, it'll be no surprise here. I've got a different little twist here. I just don't know if this will be a good look for LeBron James. I think if he adds the second best player, first best player, third best player, whatever you want to call Kawhi, to himself and Anthony Davis, I think that cheapens his legacy to some degree. I know some people will celebrate what a great recruiter and he restored the Lakers, but I'm not sure if this is the best thing for LeBron's legacy, landing Kawhi Leonard.
This question, this whole thing.
I got no hesitation, so you go.
No, it's no hesitation. I'm just tired of the thing about the legacy part. It's just, listen.
Jordan played with Scottie Pippen, one
different
Hall of
era.
Fame.
It's a different era.
One Hall of Fame.
Guess what? The Celtics played against 8 other teams and won 11.
That was 8 other, yeah, that's why they don't talk about it. That's why
but they do. But they say the Celtics are the benchmark of what we do in basketball, them and the Lakers.
Most people say that.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. So we can always say in certain eras, this is what happened. This is the era. Do I agree with it? No. But this is the era of what these dudes are doing. It's going to continue to happen. So now what we're going to do is every great player that teams up with somebody else, their legacy, because of how the eras is going now, is not going to be worth anything. That's what we're doing.
It's not as competitive.
But that's what's going to happen. I mean, we just saw it with KD and Kyrie. So it's not going to stop.
This is going to have more of an impact on Kawhi's legacy than it would on LeBron James. LeBron James, this gives him the opportunity to rewrite his legacy in a positive way. First of all, it gives him a chance of winning a championship with a third franchise. No matter how you look at that historically, that is impressive. I don't care what role he plays. I don't care who he does it with. That's impressive. The second part is, what we've said about LeBron is that outside of
the Hall of Fame Robert Horry, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Jack Haley, Robert Horry.
Yeah,
the Hall of Fame
just write it down.
Go ahead.
Comparisons are killing me. The second part is, outside of a guy who he shared an agent with, or he already had a long-time friendship with, he's never been able to recruit another superstar. This would change the dynamic of somebody coming in and saying, yeah, I'll play with LeBron.
You said LeBron can recruit. What about Chris Bosh?
Yes. He tried to get Chris Bosh to go to Cleveland, and Chris Bosh said, no, I'll play with you, but it has to be in Miami. So I'm putting an asterisk on that. He needed Dwayne Wade and Pat Riley to bring that together. I'm not giving that to him solo.
They go to asterisk. No,
this is a case where the only reason that Kawhi would be going is to play with LeBron. That would be the reason that he would be going. And I believe...
Let me give you another reason.
Okay.
Because it'll be easier. And again, that's what the knock is going to be, is like 3 guys got together to do what's easiest.
Sure.
They can all sit for 25 games a year in the regular season and just roll out there at playoff time. This would be easier. It'll be the same. Look, this same little easy path just caused Kevin Durant to flee Golden State.
I agree.
We're not going to hold LeBron and these guys to the same standard?
But here's the distinction, and this is why doing it in 3 different places gives it more gravitas. Because, yes, he did that in Miami, and he won championships. He went back to Cleveland. He orchestrated that to get the guys that he wanted, and he won a championship. He goes to L.A., he orchestrates it, he gets the guys that he wants, and he wins a championship. I can't ignore that. I know how difficult it is seeing teams to win a championship. We can say it's a foregone conclusion. We can say it's preordained by the talent. They still have to go out and do it. That LeBron James would have done it in 3 different places with essentially 3 different casts. That has value that he has yet to
and we're prisoners of the moment because we're living in it now. It's just like, especially a lot of the old school guys come out, I can't stand it. I know George Gervin talked about he had a chance to play with Magic, and I get it. But again, down the road, when we look at this time, this era, just like the money, is this era.
Yeah.
A lot of guys deserve to be paid back in the day, but that's this era.
Okay, broaden your perspective, though.
It's broad.
Beyond the media and beyond the athletes. I don't think fans like this.
Which fan? The older fans?
No.
The young fans don't care.
Oh, I think they do.
I don't think a lot of young fans care as much as some older fans.
I think it makes the NBA, it cheapens the NBA. And this whole thing of, because look, they're about, and I think this would be a good thing. They're about to shrink the schedule. And I think that'll be great. Because clearly these players are smart enough to, we don't need to play 82 anymore. And so, and I'm not knocking them for that. Smart, reduce the schedule. But if your legacy is changing the game, that every player looked around, well, what's my easiest path to the championship, and who can I bait into playing with me? That's going to be part of your legacy and brand. And I just don't think fans like that.
I think hardcore basketball fans are in agreement with you. They don't like it. But you have to be specific on which fans you're talking about, because there's a whole swath of fans who don't watch games. They just love to play.
Those aren't fans, but go ahead. Those are tweeters.
But they're following. But they're following the NBA, and they are purchasing
fantasy basketball players.
They are, but they're following it, and they are
gamblers,
and they're consuming content involved with the league. But they're more interested in the transactions. They're more interested in who's going to play where. That's why the NBA owns more of the sports landscape than it ever has before. Sports fans, especially if this turns the Lakers into the super team, this is not only good for the mainstream sports fans who want to see, okay, how good are they going to be? Who's going to beat them? But it's also good for the NBA because parity doesn't work.
Here's what I think people are missing. The essence of sports is competition.
God, you sound so quaint right now.
Yeah, the essence of sports is people tune in to see great competition with high stakes. And again, this may be the football person in me coming out. That's what drives the NFL. People are like, man, this damn game really matters. And these guys are laying it all out, regular season, postseason, hell, some guys in the preseason. And when you start continuing to diminish the essence of competition in your sport, I just think it's great for social media. It's great for talk shows. We gossip about who likes who and who is planning on teaming up, blah, 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 blah. But at the core of your game should be the competition. I just don't think this is healthy.
And I'm agree with you on this perspective. From a competitor, I'd love to go against my competition. Now, the pushback may come if ratings go down, if sales drop, if this continues to be a trend. But if it doesn't change and still going like this, especially from an international perspective, and the NBA is still as popular, it's going to be tough to change that narrative because you don't have the backlash or the effect economically that's hurting the league.
Right. Listen, Major League Baseball makes a ton of money. I was about to say a ton of money, but makes a ton of money. But it's not as relevant in American culture as it used to be.
Right.
They can't attract the large television audiences the way they used to be able to. And so we keep moving the goalposts for the NBA. Internationally, they're doing it. Well, right here at home, they're not taking care of home as well as they could. I'm someone that truly believes this. I'm not saying this to be popular on TV or say something provocative on TV. If basketball were managed properly, it would be more popular than football. But it hasn't been managed properly. Everybody, my mother played basketball. Everybody in America at some point has shot a basketball, understands the game. But a sport that most people won't come near, half the population can't play football in a real way. And there's a large percent of the population that doesn't remotely understand what's going on a football field. They're all attracted to it because of the great competition. That's why I think the NBA...
But everybody grows up playing soccer. Everybody grows up playing soccer. I would say every kid, every kid starts out.
No.
That's the athletic starter kit. Everybody ends up.
That's in the last 20 years. Everybody plays basketball. Man, woman, child, wheelchair.
Understood. But the comparison I'm making is that just because people play it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to sit down and watch it. And the reality is fewer and fewer people are sitting down to watch an entire game. They will watch the highlights. They will watch LeBron James throw a lob to Kawhi Leonard or vice versa. They want to see that. They don't necessarily want to sit down and watch an entire game.
All right, coming up, Rob Gronkowski looks like a new man since retiring from the NFL.
Half man.
TV's hottest look at social media. Next!